Okay, just trying to set up the camera. Maybe this is a bit better. I am sitting at my desk. It is the end of the working day. It is 5:15 p.m. this time, not 5:15 a.m. Slight change of time, 12 hours later, and an end of day stream. And the third episode, actually, that I have been able to create, which I am actually quite happy about. We're going to talk about staying fit and healthy, or habits for staying fit and healthy while we're sitting at home at our desks. And I was thinking the other day, when we do the morning live stream, we usually do a workout. I'm just wondering if that's water, by the way. No coffee after 3 for me. When we do the workout, in the mornings, we always do some exercises. So maybe we should just also get used to doing at least something when we're sitting behind our desk. Now, if you're like me and you spend your day sitting behind your desk, you probably want to at least try and I'm trying to figure out how to keep my screen off the stream here, so bear with me for a moment. If you're wondering where I am in the attic of my parents' room, my parents' house, because they are babysitting my oldest son while I was working from home or working remote this morning and this afternoon. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm sitting behind my desk is just kind of sit straight up, plant both of my feet on the floor, and just slowly kind of move my head up and down a couple of times, and also look left and look right, because you know how this works. You spend most of your days sitting behind your computer working, and without realizing it, you're not actually using your core. You're actually just leaning forward and almost trying to disappear into your computer. So let's just slowly but surely work on a little bit of that neck at the end of the day. And by the way, you can also do this at the beginning of the day, and just check in with yourself how your neck is feeling. So we looked down and up and left and right, or just slowly turning our neck, making sure that we actually are staying fit and are using our body the way it is intended. Now, the second thing we can actually do from behind our desks is this, because you know the exercise I do in the morning for mobility, which is that I create sort of a hitchhiking motion here, and whether you're standing or sitting, you can actually very easily recreate that mobility exercise sitting behind your desk quite easily. You just do that about 10 times, and you'll notice that you're starting to use your shoulders and your neck and the larger muscles in your back, which you maybe haven't been using throughout the day. So those are two things you can do while you're sitting at your desk to maybe give yourself a little bit of break from a different posture, and changing your posture a little bit, maybe going to keep you healthy as we go through the day as we're working. For those of you who are just dropping by on my channel, my name's Toby. I am 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. You can follow my live streams on this channel. In the morning, I do my morning routine where I work out. I work on my strength, my conditioning, and my mobility. And sometimes at the end of the day, I pop in for a live stream, which I'm trying to do more frequently, to talk about all the other things I do throughout the day to stay fit and healthy at 40. Because when you hit 40, it becomes a bit harder to maintain the same levels of strength, of mobility, and of conditioning as I had when I was 20 or in my early 30s. So I need to be a bit more mindful of that. Dino, hi, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I appreciate you dropping by in the chat. And I hope you're doing well where you are today at the end of the day. It's Friday, so I'm guessing that you have the weekend ahead of you. The way I see it, anyone who drops by in my chat for a brief conversation, at least in this chat and in this moment, is a friend of mine, and I appreciate you dropping by and letting me know and saying hi. And maybe you can let me know where you're at. I'm in the Netherlands, actually, and I'm somewhere up north, away from my home, near Amsterdam, because I'm working remote at the moment from Friesland, which you might know if you're Dutch, maybe judging by your last name. So what I talk about on this channel are ways to stay fit and healthy as we progress through life. And since I have a job that requires me to sit a lot, there are, that's really cool. It's not the best of days today. It's been cloudy and overcast all day, but I think we've been able to make the most of it. And I'll walk you through some of the things that I've done today to actually maintain some of my health and fitness as I sat here and worked throughout the day. Hey, YouTube Punk, thanks a lot for dropping by. I hope you're doing well in Texas. How's life treating you today? It must be, what, early morning for you, where you're at in the world. And I hope you're doing all right. And Dino, we could talk Dutch. Dat zou zeker kunnen. But some of my audience don't speak Dutch, which is why I prefer to speak in English. You're looking for the kettlebells. They are back home, actually, not here with me today. I was just doing some exercises behind the desk, just to make sure that we're staying fit and healthy despite sitting most of the day. So what have I done today, besides sit in the car for an hour and a half to get where I am right now, and we have a drive for an hour and a half to get back to where we want to be. And for anyone who's interested in what I have to say about health and fitness and longevity, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because we can continue this conversation not only in this live stream, but also under my shorts and under some of my other videos that I'm posting. So social, yeah, sometimes when I work from home, you know, especially here, which is not my own desk, the setup is not ideal, and we end up sitting with poor posture, and if we sit in the wrong posture long enough, we will just start to notice the ill side effects of poor posture or poor working environment. Ergonomics is a thing in that sense. I think one of the best things we can do, right, and you can tell me if that's something that you do as well, is take little breaks and, you know, walk up and down the stairs, walk around, maybe do some stretches, like I was doing the neck exercises before. I did the hitchhiker. We can do shoulder rolls real easily, but we tend to forget to take these little breaks to actually mind our posture as we work from home, and that will pay us back over time. Because even though I train every morning for 30 minutes, and YouTube Punk knows this because he's been following me for quite a while, every morning between 5 and 6, and exercises, there you go, right? I do my morning routine, which is either strength training, conditioning training, or mobility, usually with kettlebells at home. Those 30 minutes are not enough to offset the ill effects of poor posture and bad habits that we develop by sitting at our desks all day. Dino, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you dropping by and subscribing to my channel and being interested in what I have to say. And I hope you're having a good start of your Friday evening, where you're at in the world right now. So, you know, so social, it's one of those things, right? It's not just spending time on our phone, it's also spending time on our desk, spending time sitting. So what did I do today to more or less offset that? Because I did my workout, we drove for an hour and a half, sat down to work. Now it's the end of the day. I've done a few stretches and exercise, but what else have I done? Well, one of the things that I get to do here and also at home and also at the office is walk up and down flights of stairs. I usually try to do that once every 1 or 2 hours. Dino, I wish you well, and I hope you're going to be all right, and take care of yourself, and good luck in the hospital. one of the things that is important one of the things that is important to realize is that moving every 30 to 60 minutes, especially when we sit a lot for our job, does help us offset some of the poor effects of sitting on our health. Because I talked about this the other day, sitting a lot basically just increases the speed of deterioration of our muscle mass and our muscle strength. So we need to use our body more throughout the day in order to maintain a good level of health and fitness. It's not just the posture, but it's also actually the effect overall on your entire body. So what I try to do is I try to walk every hour and every 2 hours. And today, actually, in the middle of the day, after lunch, what I did is I went out for a slightly longer walk. And it's very nice here because you've got a lot of fields, meadows, cows, and other animals out. And there's also a lot of water around. So there's a lot of green. And so it's a nice environment to just walk around in, even if it was a slightly overcast day. Now, besides walking around and enjoying the somewhat grim and gray weather outside, I also made sure to drink enough water. It's my cup right here, and to get up every hour, an hour and a half to kind of move around, walk up and down the stairs, and spend some time not in a seated position. So those are some of the simpler things that we can do. But here's one of the bigger problems that we have, right, is that we don't realize how much we sit throughout the day, and sometimes we get dragged from meeting to meeting to meeting, that we forget that it is our body that's doing a lot of the work for us, and that if we don't develop little habits that are going to keep us healthy throughout the working day, we are going to, over time, notice that our body is going to change slightly. And again, working out once a day, 3-4 times a week, is not enough to offset the negative effects of having a job where we're sitting most of the day. So what are some of the other things that we can do? Well, besides going for a walk, if you can find a way to exercise throughout the middle of the day, it's one thing. But while you're sitting at your desk, there are also a couple of other exercises that we can do that might help us maintain a better physical level of physical health. So another thing that we can do, and it's a bit hard for me to do here because there's a slanted ceiling overhead, but one of the things that we could do is the exercise where we reach up and we just try to pick those apples from the tree. And I know you know what that is and what I'm talking about because you've seen me do it in the morning during my live stream. And this is just a nice way to get a bit of a stretch into that spine, reaching overhead. Just doing that for 20 or 30 seconds, all right? And as you're doing that, you might want to consider that it is November 1st. And next week I'm starting a couple of challenges where we're going to look at how we can start building smaller and healthier habits that are going to help us get fit and healthy in 2025. Because for me, my fitness journey has been a long one with ups and downs. I've been through a lot, seen different aspects of myself, seen myself in different states of health and fitness. And I am very much very keen on staying healthy and fit for the next 40 years of my life because, as I stated up front, that my goal is to be healthy and fit, not only 10 years from now, not only 20 years from now, but maybe 30 or 40 years from now. And the way I'm going to do that is by focusing on my sleep, focusing on my nutrition, my strength training, my conditioning training, and my mobility. And the challenge has always been not to know what needs to be done because it's simple. You need to sleep more hours, you need to eat better and eat less, and you need to exercise more, right? Those are the basics. But figuring out the behaviors that fit into the pattern of my life that are going to help me actually accomplish what I set out to accomplish. So hey, if that's something you're interested in, next week I'm starting a series of 4 small challenges. We're going to talk about drinking a glass of water every day. We're going to talk about fitting in a 10-minute walk every day. We're going to talk about having a 15-minute unwinding period before we go to sleep and go to bed every day. And we're going to talk about increasing our protein intake with 1 out of the 3 meals that we have in the day. And I'll be very honest with you, I am convinced that if you can figure out to make those 4 changes between now and January 1st, it's going to be so much easier for you when the new year comes around and you want to get serious about health and fitness and longevity. Maybe you're in your 30s, maybe you're in your 40s, maybe you're in your 50s, to actually think about, to actually look at the structure of your life, the knowledge and skills that you have related to health and fitness, to understand what it is that you can realistically start doing, and to kind of build that snowball effect from there starting in January. So if that's something you're interested in, you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and you let me know what it is that you want me to talk about more under some of my shorts or under one of my long forms, or tomorrow morning in my live stream where we're going to do a morning workout. Friends, thanks for dropping by. That's all the time I have today. It is 5:30 in the afternoon. Today I managed to go out for a walk in the middle of the day, and I managed to do some exercising in between hours of sitting at my desk, as well as drinking sufficient water to stay healthy and happy, and not only today, but also for the next 50 years. Like I always say, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And that is because it's the person we are today who's going to get us to be the person we want to do tomorrow. Yeah, and I think you're about to get ready to do your workout, so I wish you all the best, YouTube Punk, on the workout that you're about to do. I hope you're going to have a good rest of the day there in Texas, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow in my live stream, and to anyone else who's watching. I always say the only way to get anything done, friend, is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.